Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. I am coming live here from the States, but we have a very distinguished guest with us today, Dr. Praveen. He asked that
Hello.
we call him Praveen. I'm very excited to have him on the show. We're going to talk about women entrepreneurship in India, which is where he is. So it's good evening to you, Praveen. Very excited to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. It's a great pleasure and honor to be part of your show. Thank you very much.
I was telling you before we went live, I have a beautiful, wonderful, supportive following in India. And I am very excited to one day, when this COVID madness is under control, visit your beautiful, beautiful country. All right, enough about me. They want to know about you. So as we talked before we went live, origin story is so important. So if you can give us a little background on you, your journey here to talk about women's entrepreneurship. There's a journey always that goes on before you reach that. So tell us a little bit about you.
All right. So I graduated from Moscow State University in engineering. And once I finished my engineering, I came back to my country, New Delhi, and started working for a Japanese multinational. And 2002, as all of us we know, information technology industry was booming like anything. So I joined another company, and I had an opportunity to come to US as a sales director. So I moved to US. I operated out of New Jersey for a couple of years, then moved to Chicago.
Was that a big culture shock coming from India to, I was born in New Jersey, coming from India to the States and to the Northeast?
Not really, because I spent my school days in Russia, where a lot of other students from another 50, 60 countries were there. So we have been able to understand. And America was always a very friendly country to India when we born and brought up. We have all seen Hollywood movies and all that. So there was not at all any kind of culture shock. And actually, we understood very well the culture. And when I moved to US, in fact, the MD, he made sure that we should we should know the American history. So he has asked us to spend 2 months' time mainly on reading about the American culture and the other historical aspect. So we came very equipped, because he told us at that point of time that whenever you are your client, you need to not only discuss the business, but about what's happening there. So it's very important for you to know the culture. Yes.
So tell us about your journey. You're a doctor. You're a PhD.
Yes, that's correct.
So tell us about your journey there. What did you said you studied some here. You studied here. You worked here. Tell us about your journey to getting your PhD.
Yeah. So once I was in US, and by 2008, I decided to come back to India because my parents were aging, and I had to look after them. So I took a decision to come back to India. But I read a book in 2005, The Success Principle by Jack Canfield. And after reading that book, I actually planned my career, what I am supposed to do, in next 20 years from that point of time. And then I decided that I will have to do teaching, but not teaching to the students, but teaching to the business owners, because in India, business owners, their business acumen is absolutely marvelous. But if they use the latest corporate practices, then this is a terrific combination.
Yes.
So I thought that once I will have enough corporate experience, and in fact, I've decided myself that when I'll be turning 45, I'll leave corporate and I will start my own consulting company and will start working with the medium-sized companies in India. So it has not happened in 45; it happened in 47. So 3.5 years back, I left corporate and started the coaching and consulting.
What's it like being a consult? Why did you choose that area of consulting? Explain a little bit about what you do, and then we can take a deep dive into why women entrepreneurship in India is such an important topic.
Okay, so I spent more than 2 years on the West Coast. So I was a frequent visitor to Silicon Valley and many other areas. And I've seen that a lot of medium-sized entrepreneurs there. They work with the business coaches and consultant. And similarly, when I have seen here in India, I found the top corporates in India, they are as good as, and they follow the Western, management practices. But medium-sized companies, they lack a lot of resources. So I thought that if I would guide them, coach them, this is going to become a good, basically help to them, and they can grow and they can do wonders.
It's amazing. All right. So tell us about women entrepreneurship. It's a big topic here in the States too. The pandemic, I think, really shifted a lot of people's mindset to becoming a consultant, becoming more entrepreneurial because the world basically shut down for so long. Tell us about women entrepreneurship in India. What is it like? I think the US, we don't understand what goes on in other countries as far as what is their entrepreneurial program, their approach. So talk a little bit about that.
All right. So as far as women's in India is concerned, they are definitely a 50% share, anywhere in the world. And in the last 10 years, we have seen that women's, they are coming up very, very fast, and they are registering their own presence in the society. Today, if I see, they are in military, they are basically in top corporates like, Kiran Majumdar, Shaw, Indra Nuvi. They are some name which aspiring the many of the corporate female working in India, and they're also doing very good in the business. They are doing excellent in the education industry. So today, if I would say, they are present all over the industry in India. However, if I see the world statistics, if out of 100, 40 approximately females are the women entrepreneur in US. In India, this figure is around close to probably 18 to 20. So it's still a long way to go, and there is a huge opportunity. And the present government, the way they are helping in terms of a Skill India movement or a Startup India movement, it is a great opportunity. And our females, they are very talented. Even sometimes they are much more talented than even male. And even in the Olympics, they got the medals. So I think overall the future is very bright, and I'm sure we will continue this journey and enjoy.
So when you're advising and consulting a woman who might want to engage and become an entrepreneur and figure out what it is she can do, what are some of the things that you find out when you are doing sort of your intake, your questioning, when you're really trying to figure out what their dream is and what their aspirations are?
All right. So as you know, in India, basically from the start, females are little dependent, because when they are before the marriage, they are mainly dependent to their parents, and when they are getting married, they are dependent on the husband. Not entire population, but many of the population, they still dependent on the male. So they have kind of a psyche that they can't take the independent decision. But those girls, those females, those who are having the education and university, and they start working, they are actually basically taking the independent decision. So there I found that those females, those who are first-time entrepreneur, I help them to take the right decision. I work with them on the business plan, try to see the business model which could be profitable, and de-risking the business, and because they need a lot of motivation in terms of in the self-confidence. So I also work with them on the emotional intelligence side, but at the same time, because I'm a ICF certified coach as well, but at the same time focusing on their profit growth and trying to teach them the principle of management, how the business is being done, because since they are doing first time, so they need some kind of basically the guidance, that how they need to look at business, the business plan, and the profits and cost reduction and branding, digital marketing.
There's so much, right? There's so much. And I love that you take this whole holistic, this whole approach to it, because it's not just about the business and having a dream. There's all of this emotional and spiritual and soulful and mindset that has to go with it. So I think where a lot of entrepreneurs, not just women, men as well, fail or have a hard time is because they only take care of one side of it, and they don't look at it as a multifaceted approach, which is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So tell me, what can we do in the States? Like, let's say somebody here is watching and we say, well, we'd like to figure out how to engage women entrepreneurs in India, because the internet, of course, everything's global now. You can be in a small town and have a global business. What are some ways that we can, in other countries, especially the United States, engage and get involved and search out some of the women entrepreneurs that you work with?
Right. As you know that right now world is virtual. In fact, I'm working with two organizations in US. They would like to develop a business in India. And even on the other side, women in India, those who are entrepreneurs, they would also like to expand their wings in other market. Yeah. So, I can help them to meet the two entrepreneurs, one on one side, the Indian women entrepreneur and the US women entrepreneur, and help them to mix it, and we can design an ecosystem where both of them can help each other and get the mileage out of the market, because India is a large consuming market, and it is growing even during the COVID at the rate of 7%. So there is a huge potential in this market, and I would advise a lot of women entrepreneurs in US, please do not ignore India, and you can expand your wings here. And because US is forward in technology, so you have better products and technology, which you can sell it, either your product or services in this market. And we are here, we will ready to help you how you can get established in India, because today ease of doing business in that India is doing very, very good, and we have all latest practices. So yes, absolutely.
All right, so we had a lot of people wondering how to reach you. So what is the best way for them to learn more about what you do, learn more about women entrepreneurs in India? And then any of the people who are watching the show in India, what's the best way for them to reach you and find out more and maybe engage your services?
Sure, sir. So I have a website, www.praveensrivastava.com and www.pnpconsultants.net. They can, review the website, and there itself they can take a appointment from me, in the calendar, and we can have a absolutely free discussion if they need any kind of support from me from this side, and we'll fix up, and we can come out and we can have a discussion, and then we are ready to talk to them and help them. They can also send me an email, they can also send me a WhatsApp, or they can call me. All the options are open.
It's perfect. You're a joy, my friend. Thank you so much for spending time. I love this topic. I think we should have some future shows and talk more, maybe specific steps and some ideas that we can help women entrepreneurs in general reach their dreams. And I think you've got the tools to do that. Thank you, Praveen, for being on the show. You all reach out to Praveen. His website is scrolling across the bottom. And of course, we'll tag him. You can find him on social media, LinkedIn especially. And we will see you all soon. Praveen, thank you so much. It was an honor.
Really, thank you very much. Great. Same with you.
All right. Y'all have a great Friday. You have a great evening, my friend, and a wonderful week.